Well, yeah, if you take out one of the best strikers and the guy who scored 6 goals in the Premier League, of course they wouldn't be where they are. What are you talking about, man? Hi guys, welcome back to another week of TFW. This is a football show dominated by all of your opinions as written in our YouTube community tab. Now, it's just myself again here this week, but do not fear, Angelina and the special guests will be back next week. So first up, from Average Person, great YouTube account, it said Alex Telles did a mistake signing for United. He could have gotten a move to a giant like PSG, which he was linked with a couple of months ago, but decided to go to a club that he can't challenge for trophies. I think you've outdone your own opinion within the same sentence here. He could have got a move to a giant like PSG months ago, but didn't. So obviously that move didn't really work out. The fact that he's joined Manchester United on the last day of the transfer window kind of tells you that the move to PSG wasn't on the cards. If it was rumoured a few months ago and didn't happen, it wasn't an option for whatever reason. Whether he couldn't agree a deal, whether PSG didn't want to pay the money, this, that and the other. Saying United can't challenge for trophies, it looks pretty poor for them this season, but you never know. United could be in with a shout in any domestic competitions as well. It's going to be very difficult in the European stage. At this point, you don't really know. Personally, I think Alex Telles is a very, very good signing. Certainly moving into the future for Manchester United. I guess we'll kind of wait and see as it happens. I mean, Hude Venkatanarian, I believe you pronounce it, said it's a good thing that United didn't sign Reguilón as they got Telles, who was a better left back. No offence to Reguilón, still a great left back for only 15 million. This one I don't agree with so much. Nothing to do with being a Spurs fan. I just think if you look at previously, Alex Telles has done very, very well in the Portuguese league. Obviously not as strong as the Spanish leagues. Portuguese still have some brilliant players, some brilliant teams, absolutely no doubt, not throwing any shade in it whatsoever. But yeah, Reguilón's just won the Europa League and been voted the best left back in La Liga, whilst playing for Sevilla, not even one of the top teams, and was at Real Madrid for a few seasons. Based off of those two CVs and certainly the last year, you would say that Reguilón's the better defender. You certainly would, and he chose Spurs over Manchester United. Having said that, Telles is also a very, very good player. And yeah, for 15 million, Reguilón was only 25, so it's hardly either of them is spending a big amount of money. But yeah, it just proves that both of them are completely dominating the Premier League transfer market, and that looks like is what's going to happen with all this new talk about the top 6 running the Premier League and making the decisions. And you can expect these kind of good deals for the Premier League, and especially for the top clubs, to continue. Because as I said before, there's been all those reports that they're going to control everything and they're not going to allow the rest of the league to make as many decisions. And if they get a bigger share of the money, then, well, they'll probably end up being able to attract and do the better deals with everyone else. But that's a long-standing topic. We'll move on to the next one from Awetha Kwamata, who said, unpopular opinion, a fully fit Dembele is better than a fully fit Mbappe. My word. There's a reason that's unpopular. I am really not overly sure. First off, you could talk about a fully fit this and a fully fit that, but if they're never fit and never playing, it's not a thing. It's not even a comparison. Dembele, let's say their careers were to end today, you couldn't say, yeah, but fitness, but this, but that. He didn't do it. He could have been fit. Great. Those ifs and buts don't really help you on a football pitch. So for that reason, I would definitely pick Mbappe. I think Dembele, we're talking Ousmane Dembele, by the way, I'm assuming, not Moussa Dembele in China or Moussa Dembele at Lyon. Yeah, Kylian Mbappe is far better. Far better in terms of what he's producing regularly. But I think they're also quite different players. Next up, Max Laumann has said Germany would be best served if Lowe was fired and Klopp took over. We all know Jogi Löw is basically running the show there because he won the World Cup, so they can't say shit against him, even though that was 6 years ago, and they had a poor World Cup in between. Secondly, though, I do think Klopp would be good, but it's not really a Klopp thing. Like Klopp's teams, he works on them religiously, day in, day out. Such an intense style of play, such a specific tactic that Jurgen Klopp plays. If he's just going to have them for a few weeks of the year, it's so difficult. We've seen there's a massive gap between the level of quality managers in club football and international football because it's just such a different style of management. Like you put Gareth Southgate, for example, into club football, I don't think he'd do very well, but he's doing a half-decent job as the England manager. With Klopp as well, the thing is when you get so many players who come in from different clubs, different systems, different managers, different leagues, and then you bring them all under one manager. It's so difficult to fit them into a system, so you kind of have to adapt your own methodology to fit everybody. That, right, can you imagine coming from different clubs and, you know, being the world's best players and then coming to play under Klopp's specific system? It'd be so difficult. They would be served better, and it looks like it will happen sooner rather than later. But yeah, it's certainly going to be a difficult one for Klopp. Damanpreet Singh has said Thomas Muller's most underrated player because he plays in Bundesliga. Nobody appreciates him. But he played in La Liga or Premier League, story would have been different. Completely wrong. I don't know where you're from, Damanpreet Singh, but nobody underrates him. Maybe the news wherever you are, the media wherever you are, don't really talk about him too much, don't talk about the Bundesliga too much, which happens. I think it happens in England. You know, they don't talk about the Bundesliga players too much, or it's seen as a farmers league, which is stupid. Certainly here in Germany, and anyone who follows the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich, or Thomas Muller knows that he is not underrated, that he is a phenomenal player. Everyone appreciates his talent, and most people are calling for him to be back in the German squad. Carlos Garcia, unpopular opinion, Aaron Wan-Bissaka should be getting an England call-up. How many right-backs do England need? I don't know if anyone saw the England-Belgium game. They started with 3 right-backs. Kyle Walker was a centre-back, right of a 3. Trippier was a left-back, and Alexander-Arnold was the right wing-back. In fact, so technically, you have 3 right-backs there who play in the right-back of a 4, and none of them played in that position. Because Trent was wing-back, as I say, Walker was centre-back, and Trippier left. That's unbelievable. I take back what I said about Southgate doing a decent job. Carlos continues saying he's already one of the best one-on-one fullbacks in the world. As the excellent 1920 season, I think Lysa Reece James can manage to get a cap. He should too. Don't be throwing any shade on Reece James. A very good option. I just think in this space, right, you've got the right-back options. Trent, Walker, Trippier, Wan-Bissaka, Max Aarons, Tariq Lamptey, Reece James. That's not an order, by the way. There's probably more. That's 7 right backs who are probably who range between a shout for England and starting for England. Like, they're in the conversation. 7 right backs is insane. I just don't think Wan-Bissaka's needed at the moment. Fat guy, 123. Calvert-Lewin will finish career at Everton if he keeps this up. Why on earth does it even cross your mind to talk about Calvert-Lewin finishing his career at Everton? I mean, no offence to Everton, but if Calvert-Lewin keeps this up and becomes one of the best strikers in the world, I'm pretty sure a big club will come in for him and spend 100 million on him. But why is that a prerequisite that if he's that good, he'll finish career at Everton? This makes no sense. Who's even thinking about it? He's 23. Srihi Sai said Everton would be nothing without Calvert-Lewin. He's the only reason they're top of the league. Well, yeah, if you take out one of the best strikers and the guy who scored 6 goals in the Premier League, of course they wouldn't be where they are. What are you talking about, man? Secondly, they would be something without Calvert-Lewin because James Rodriguez has had a phenomenal start to the season. There's also Richarlison, and that's just talking about the attack. We're not even talking about the midfield, defence, goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's a bit of a stretch. And Carlo Ancelotti. Completely wrong on all fronts. Balthazar Werner said Shaqiri should leave Liverpool for a mid-table club where he could be the star man like he was at Stoke. And meanwhile, return to international football where he can re-establish himself as the best player because his performance against Spain was embarrassing. Worst thing he's seen from a 2-time Champions League winner, and yes, I am Swiss. I've been saying this for quite a while, and I completely agree. I just think they've got it too comfortable. I think the backups at Liverpool, like Origi and Shaqiri, know that they are getting nowhere near another Champions League side if they're to be sold. If they leave Liverpool, right, they're not going to another Champions League contender. No one's spending big money on those two. I mean, they're barely doing well as backups at Liverpool. They're a bit meh when they come in. They do a few good bits. Obviously, Origi in the semi-finals against Barca, Champions League final goal, that last-minute winner against Everton. Shaqiri with a couple against United. Yeah, they're basically warranting anything over a 20 to 25 million transfer fee. They're not going to another top club, so they might as well stick it out. But I agree with you, they should go. They should go to play. They'd be really good. There was rumoured that Newcastle and Shaqiri over the summer. Now they've got better players in that position, it's fine. But they could certainly do good jobs. Look at the likes of Ross Barkley moving to Villa. That's a fantastic move. He can play week in, week out, be a bit of a big fish. And last but not least, Merlin Malik has said, unpopular opinion, Mo Salah is overrated. A one-season wonder, he called him, despite the fact he has 2 golden boots. Don't know how that one works. He rarely dribbles past anyone. Not true. Poor at passing. He's actually quite good at passing. He's not on the level of some other players, but that's not his main strength. Isn't creative enough. Again, that's not really his job. and very inconsistent. Would say that 99 goals, I believe, in the Premier League over 2.5, 3 seasons is very consistent. He benefits from Klopp's system, so he should, and the work Firmino and Mane put in. Mane is definitely LFC's best player. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Salah is not a good player, I just think he's not as good as people think he is. I think he is. I think he's one of the best strikers in the league. He's incredibly consistent. He's already their top goal scorer this season. 2 golden boots, right, in the first 2 years in the Premier League, including breaking the Premier League record for 38 games. A ridiculous amount of goal contributions, that's goals and assists, since joining Liverpool, well over 100. I just can't say he's seen as overrated. A one-season wonder means he was good for 1 season, but he has 2 golden boots. That literally defies explanation. Anyway, that is all from this week's TFW. Thank you so much, as always, for all of your hottest opinions. Every Sunday night in the YouTube community tab is where you can find our posts, where you guys can leave your thoughts for the Monday episode of TFW. But yeah, that's all from me. Angelina and a special guest will be back next week, but whilst you're there, you can smash the like button, leaving your thoughts in the comments as well. Check out the rest of the stuff we got going on OneFootball, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.